Welcome to Chef's Kitchen, where in this episode I will be at Moss Valley Market Garden discussing how their garden promotes sustainability and ethical eating. I will also be with Ellie and seeing how her role promotes sustainability and ethical eating.
Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm a grower here at Moss Valley Market Garden. So I work here full time and I support Martin, who owns the business, in kind of growing produce on the market garden and then also working within our veg bag scheme. So that's like packing veg bags and delivering them out to customers. So it's quite a busy and varied role. At this time of year, we're spending a lot of time on the garden, sowing seeds, getting the ground all ready for this season's crops. I have always been concerned about the environment and nature, kind of growing up seeing degradation happen. I studied geography at university, so kind of learning about climate change, and I really was kind of searching for ways that I felt that I could make a practical and tangible difference within my lifetime. Land use is a massive part of sustainability and environmental issues that we're facing, and food is a huge part of that. And so for me, I kind of came at it through permaculture and through an interest in organic food, kind of looking at more like localized food systems so that the food is not traveling as far, therefore not causing as much pollution, whilst also having like positive social impacts and in terms of like health, like local food, organic food tends to be more nutritious because it's not been sat around or traveling as far. So it's kind of like tackling those kind of crises is in like a multifaceted way that has benefits for like the community as well as people's health and the environment. At Moss Valley, we ensure that our farming methods are environmentally friendly because we are biodynamically and organically certified. So that certification means that we have to follow a strict set of principles, and kind of working with nature is at the core of that. Soil health is critical for us because we don't use any artificial fertilizers or pesticides. So for us, no dig methods mean that we're not disturbing the soil and the soil organism, which is full of life. And we're also working with nature in order to manage like pests and disease. So we have a very diverse system, whereas a conventional farm might grow one crop, we grow tens of different crops. And that kind of ensures that like if we do suffer from any pest and disease, it tends not to travel through the whole garden. We focus a lot on biodiversity as well, and so encouraging like natural predators of like aphids, for instance. We grow loads of flowers to encourage parasitic wasps which predate on the aphids, so that kind of helps create balance in our system, that makes it much more sustainable. Everything is kind of cyclical in this system. So for instance, we really tend not to have much waste. So when it comes to the veg bag scheme, where everything that we grow kind of gets sold through that or through wholesale. Anything, I mean, there tends not to be anything left over because we make sure that it's all sold, because obviously if we're putting work into growing something, then we want to make sure it gets sold. If there is anything that's too poor quality, like whole leaves, biggest challenges we face in maintaining sustainable practices are fairly limited because our certification is very strict. Like we can't just decide, oh, we've got a problem with this pest, we'll just spray it, kind of thing. Like you have to think critically. Yeah, we have to stick to the principles of our certification. I guess there's challenges because we're working with nature. There's always challenges that arise, but I guess like small scale farming is fairly labor intensive. Like there's a lot of us working on this small patch of land, so like we do a lot of observation and we kind of tend to notice when problems arise and we're just able to kind of deal with it, such as with like we had voles tunneling under like newly planted seedlings, but you kind of notice that they've been pushed out of the ground, and then we just come back and replant them, and then kind of think about ways that we can encourage natural predators within the ecosystem we've got. Like, we want to put up a raptor post to encourage. We have a lot of buzzards and kestrels that will predate on small voles, so we kind of want to encourage them to come and hunt on the market garden, which they do, which is really nice to see. So just all about kind of encouraging that balance within the system, as there being more small scale farms like ours on the edge of the city. We're like, Sheffield's a city of 600,000 people. There's a lot of people to feed. There's a lot of land around the city that could be utilised for growing more produce, especially the kind of perishable produce that needs to be harvested and get to customers quickly. Chef Food, an organisation in Sheffield, has done a lot of work on that, kind of a bit of work with the council, like mapping out land that could be available for growing food. And then on the wider scale, like the Landworks Alliance has done a lot of research into kind of food systems in the UK, and particularly around cities, looking at peri-urban growing and trying to look at ways that land can be made available to sort of grow food for local markets, shorter supply chains, growing organic, like nature friendly produce on a more local scale.
That's
Advice I would give if you want to eat more sustainably and support local farms is have a look for your local veg box or veg bag scheme. See if you can try and make like a couple of swaps from produce that you buy in the supermarket. See if you can source it from like a local shop. In Sheffield there's amazing cooperatives like Beanie's, Whole Food Shop, where you can buy produce from local growers. If you're not wanting to sign up for like a regular veg bag, have a look at the Better Food Traders website. They've got a map of all like local nature friendly farms and shops where you can source good quality organic produce like across the UK. Just do a little bit of research, just try and think about ways that you can maybe like reduce the money you're spending in the supermarkets, who obviously kind of tend to have big contracts with farmers outside of the UK.
I agree. So thank you, Ellie, for participating in this interview. It was nice to talk to you. Thank you for watching today's episode. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe for the next episode with Chef's Kitchen.